And we're back. For the remainder of our show today, I would like to continue speaking with you about the endemic issue of infertility. What a lot of people don't know is that up to 40 to 50% of infertility cases have a male factor component. This isn't addressed very widely, and so here with us today is John Carlson, wellness, life, and relationship coach for DeNovo Fertility. Welcome, John.
Yeah, thanks, Jessica. Thanks for having me today.
I'm so happy you're here. I would love to
Mm.
hear a little bit about your background and what got you interested in this field of working with fertility.
Mm. Well, well, big question, Jess, and thank you. The short of it is, my partner and I, we had our own fertility issue. It's wanting to have a child, wasn't ready at first, and once we were ready, we started, and it took us about 5 years. And it was going through like, what are we doing wrong? And all my friends showing up, Jess, and saying, here's advice that we have for you and how to have a baby in your life. And then it just grew to become so frustrating. And over time, now I can reflect so much of our success after 5 years was because of the things you teach and you lead in the DeNovo Wellness and Fertility program, our health, our body movement, our breath work and meditation, self-care, our relational work, exercise. And today we have a beautiful 14-year-old teenage daughter. So it was a journey, but it was because of that brings me so close to this work and supporting couples because it is a partnership, as well as pregnancy and as well as parenting. So great to be here. Thanks for asking.
Thank you so much, John. So tell me, when it comes to the
Mm,
male factor component, when you're working with the men,
mm,
the husbands or the partners in
yeah.
this space, what can you give us for a little bit of tidbit of what do you
Mm.
find are what's the most common question asked? What is the I'm asking all the questions.
What
What
can
do
I
they
do?
need? What do they need? What can they do?
Right.
How do you address that?
Dads, men, I think are pretty fairly simple creatures. We just love to conquer stuff. We love to know what's expected of us to do, to be good boys, to do a good job, and to show up in really good, powerful ways so we get that pat on the back, let alone that recognition by other dads and other men, let alone from our partners. So men, I think simply what I see is they want to know what can they do to support their partners, not just to be good partners, but to show up in powerful ways where they feel like they're showing up as a balanced, mature man. And the challenge is, Jess, is so many men didn't necessarily have the models to teach them how to be mature partners. It's like my parents never spoke to one another. It was a lot of distance, a lot of introversion and book reading on opposite ends of the home. And so I had to learn this work through my own partner, through my own journey of being a dad, to learn how to show up in powerful ways. So I think men want to know what can they do to help their partner so they can have a baby. And I
What can
think
they
we're
do?
lost.
Yeah, what
I
can they do?
I
Give me 3 things, like 3
Right,
simple or even
right.
1. Let's start
Thank
with
you.
1 because they might be big.
Yeah, thank you for, reeling me in on the specificity of this, Jess. It's great. One thing they can do is, participate because pregnancy and partnership, it's a partnership. Marriage is a partnership. Partners is a partnership. It's an action sport. So one is I think they can participate all in, bring their competitive nature, bring their competitive spirit, bring their wanting to support their partners by participating in every aspect and every step of the pregnancy journey. So, one, take it on, own it, do it together, have fun with it. So that's one. Because I'm glad that you teed this up in saying that 40 to 50% of infertility engages has a male factor. So men, side by side with your partner, participate. So that's one. The second piece is it's the piece that I never knew about, and I'll start with this. It's the superpower of listening. I think sometimes we talk about the space of compassion. Sometimes we may put it in that space of radical, like visible acts of generosity, Jess. And what it is as men, so often we want to fix problems. And our partners don't necessarily want us to fix them, but they want to know, can we hear how I'm feeling as like my wife will tell me how she's feeling, what she's struggling with, what she's hurting with. And I want to go in this mode of, oh, I know what you need to do. And I've read this and I've heard this. So the second piece is the power of empathy, deep, compassionate listening. Sometimes a kind of a trendy woo-woo term right now is holding space for my partner to say, I hear that. And a tool that they can use that we teach in this is called reflective listening. What I hear you saying is you're hurting right now. What I hear you saying is you're struggling right now. And you're doing your darndest, and I see your darndest. And you simply want to be heard and you want to be held in that. And I got you. I'm right here with you. Thank you for trusting me with how you feel and all your pain to allow me to take that and hold that for you without fixing a darn thing, because you're an amazing woman. You're a powerful woman. You are built everything you have to bear a child. And there's no greater honor than me as a man to hold this space, to hold this part of these burdens. So this is something we teach, Jessica, and we coach on an individual basis. We'll talk a little bit more about it. And we bring it to our dad's coaches and to our as a team of coaches, how to do that in a powerful way. And I think I think dads, it's almost like, really, it's that easy that I don't really have to really do anything but show up in a way where I'm getting feedback from my partner. It's like, wow, that's all I've ever wanted, is that acknowledgement that I'm here for her. But it's learning how to listen in the way that she needs me, not to project as the way as a man to,
Yeah.
I'm going to conquer your problem.
I love that, John. And it's, as a woman, it's true. It's we want to be seen the way we feel. We want to be
Mm,
seen how we are feeling in this moment. And so much of the time, the distance between ourselves and our partner is that
yeah.
we don't believe that they see where we're coming from. And it's a lonely space to be. So just having that observation, just being seen in that way of, I see you.
Mm,
Is this how you're feeling? This is what I see. Is that true? Yes, it is. That acknowledgement of, you really see me, you know where I am, means I have the safety. I feel like you've really got me in
yeah.
that space. So that's absolutely beautiful. I love that, John.
Feel like I could cry right now. And what's underneath that is the very connection that all I've ever wanted in my life, is the powerful, sincere connection of trust.
Yeah.
And that there's nothing I need to do but to let my wife, my partner, know just how much I love her. Because what I learned early on, Jess, is when I would jump into action, and over time, reading books and audibles, what I learned is that when I interrupt, the very thing that my partner wants is just to be heard. So thank you for that reframe, Jess. She just wants to know, can do I know how she's feeling? And just to be witnessed in that. So profound. So that's a superpower. That's great stuff. So, this is a game changer in relationships. I'll say it that way. And we've heard that before in partners and dads are like, I had no idea we weren't just going for a baby, but as well as our relation has changed forever, our relationship.
What percentage of people you've been coaching in the fertility space do you think have had a positive impact on this work you're doing?
Well, this is, dads, it's easy, all of them, because this is the thing that dads want that they don't know that they need. They want it, but like, what do you call the superpower of listening, empathy, and compassion? That's not real sexy stuff in the sense of warrior work with men. It's like, that's not rough and tough. What kind of edge does that have? But the very edge of that eloquence is the very bind that brings these couples together. And men, it's just awesome. They feel like they're on top of the mountain. They're like, I am awesome. And they're getting that feedback from their partners. And it shows up in how, when the baby comes, how they show up as a dad.
Yeah.
That's the magic.
And that's the dads we call, just so our viewing audience knows,
Oh,
we call
thanks.
everyone a dad in advance before they have that. We
Right.
call everyone a mom because we know it's going to happen for you. And so
Yeah.
that's where we set that stage. And I can't imagine they don't feel powerful. I think they are that warrior when they see how
Yeah.
we as women respond and
Yeah.
fall into that feminine grace.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the warrior isn't yes, it is in action, but the warrior, even in that stance of confidence, that
Mm.
about bringing safety to the realm, the warrior brings safety and protection to the family, to the couple, to self. And so everyone can thrive
Yeah.
and feel and be free. So there is an edge there, even when no action is required, because safety is present, it's prevalent, and it's almost like I can feel it now. I can
Yeah.
smell it, and so that's the piece where it's it it just works, and men love it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't think we can get enough of it, especially right now
The
in
way
our
things are.
culture of hungry dads. Yeah,
Well, John, thank you so much for being with us here today. This really was a great way to wrap up our show today.
yeah.
Will you please let everybody know how they can find you and work with you?
Oh man, it'd be such an honor. Thank you, Jess, again to the chance to be here with you and to contribute. Um, so DeNovoFertility.com. It's I work with individuals, I work with couples. We do it in group work, um, whatever is going to be best needed there. But come find me. I'm on DeNovoFertility.com, and it would be such an honor to be able to witness your story and to be able to support you where you're at and what you want. It's kind of like behind, up here it says, a judgment-free zone. All of you is welcome. So, yeah, thanks, Jess. Beautiful
Thank you so
invitation.
much. Thank you so much for being here, John. And thank you to all of you for joining us once again on The New Health. We look forward to seeing you next week on our next episode.